sitting here with my man Cassius, one of the newest members of the Shady family.
What up? I'm Cashis from Southside Chicago, living on the West Coast. Shady Records, everything Shady folk.
That's right.
What up guys, it's your boy Ali, and welcome to Hip Hop Forever. 1999 was a great year for Eminem. He released his famous Slim Shady LP, and it turned out to be a commercial success. In the same year, Eminem started a record label called Shady Records with his manager Paul Rosenberg, and one of the first acts they signed to the label was D12. Eminem turned Shady Records into a label full of amazing talent. He signed a lot of great artists, and one of them is Ramone Johnson, also known as Cassius. Now before getting signed, Cassius was able to build a buzz for himself in Orange County. He was known as the rap king of that area. In fact, Cassius was putting so much work in that it wasn't long before he got the big break that he was longing for. Cassius sent his demo to Shady Records.
For real, but now I got down to Shady cameraman because they listened to a demo and fucked with me and heard the talent and put me in boot camp, and I rose my way to the top of the
An A&R heard the demo and played it for Eminem, and Eminem liked the music so much that he decided to give Cassius a call. Now on December 5th, 2006, Eminem released the Re-Up compilation album. The album was a commercial success. It sold 309,000 copies in its first week, and it debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Now this is the first time most of the world got to hear Cassius rap. He appeared on several tracks throughout the album, and for many of the fans, it looked like his career was about to take off.
When the ricochet Cassius wicked way over, they gon' say similar to JFK.
Now Cassius' run on Shady Records lasted about 6 years. During this time he put out a lot of music with the label, but he failed to achieve the type of success that was expected of him. So the question is, what happened to Cassius on Shady Records? On May 22nd, 2007, Cassius' debut album called the County Hound EP came out. The EP was created to build a buzz for his debut album called Loose Cannon, and when it came out it sold 6,700 copies in its first week, and it debuted at number 106 on the Billboard 200. Now Eminem was heavily involved in this project. He produced a lot of songs on the EP. However, Eminem's involvement did not prevent the album from performing poorly. Now to put this in context, back in 2006 an artist that sold 100k was an average selling artist. Some might even consider that a flop. However, today an artist that does 100k first week is celebrated. So when Cassius came out the gate with 6,700 copies sold in 2006, this is after appearing on the Re-Up, it became very clear that he wouldn't be a top selling artist on Shady Records.
It didn't really fall apart, I just needed to do something different.
Now to be fair, the project was an EP and not a full-length album. I don't think it was intended to go number 1 on the Billboard charts, but still those numbers weren't a good look. Now in 2009, Cassius was excited about the potential release of his upcoming album on Shady Records called Loose Cannon. He said the album was coming out in September of that year, and he even went as far to say that if the label doesn't release the album, they are liars. By the end of September at the latest, I will have CDs in the marketplace. At least that's what I'm told from the bosses. And if they lie to me, they lie to the public. And we don't tolerate liars round here, at this label. Now the album didn't come out. It kept getting pushed back for years. And in 2012, Cassius was released from Shady Records. Now a lot of people think that Cassius' album didn't come out because Eminem and Shady Records didn't push the album, but according to Cassius the reason it didn't happen is because of Interscope Records' involvement. At the end of the day, record labels want to make money. They promote artists that have a buzz because they know they can make money off of them, and established artists is easy to make money off of, and that's something Cassius was not. At the time 50 and Eminem were selling a lot of records. They pretty much dominated hip-hop for years, so in a way Cassius was competing against his peers for attention from the label. Cassius felt like he wasn't being promoted well by the label, and that's one of the reasons he parted ways with Shady Records.
I started just being like, man, I kind of want to do something independent because I was waiting to get an album out, right?
At the same time, Cassius believes that Obi Trice's second album didn't receive any promotion because less money was being poured into the minor artists on Shady Records. If you think about it, Obi Trice's first album called Cheers did 226,000 copies in its first week, and his second album called Second Rounds on Me sold 74,000. That's a significant drop in sales numbers. Cassius knew that if Obi Trice wasn't getting the push that he deserved by Shady Records, then his projects wouldn't be promoted by the label as well. Man, it was. My A&R picked a monster album. M had mixed down like half my album already. It wasn't anything over at Shady. It was just over at Interscope. They were like, we can get Cassius and he can do a few 100,000. But M and 50, they was doing 10 million at the time. So it just made more sense for them to come with their albums. It's the politics of the game. Sometimes at the label, you spend too much time and you gotta bring something into your parent company. And they have to go with the top acts at the time. Obi Trice's second round on Me had come out and they didn't really push his album as they should have. It wasn't Shady. I don't know who it would be. That started a downfall for us as a company at that point. So M had to come out and do the most with our albums to make money back. Obi's album was slamming, but it don't matter how dope your project is. You see what happened with some of 50's last projects. It don't matter how good it is. If you're not getting the right promotion, you can only do so much. You need that machine to be behind you. Now it appears as though Cassius was depending on the label to make him hot instead of promoting himself and gaining the interest of the label that way. 50 and Eminem were the label's core talent. They had all the attention of the label. However, Cassius could have tried to promote himself. He couldn't create a buzz for himself, and this ultimately got him shelved by the label. At the same time, Shady Records decreased in popularity over the years, so Cassius wasn't going to blow up on Shady Records, even if he put out a classic album. After much thought, Cassius made the decision to leave Shady Records, and it took him about a year to get out of his contract. Like I told M in 09 after that, I'll sit for however long you want, as long as you get to put out stuff and put out projects. I wouldn't want to step on nobody's toes, because I'm like, it doesn't matter, my time will come. And that was the truth. My album was supposed to come out in 09 for real. All that was the truth, man. They tried. We had it set, but then things happen and it's just business moves. It was just political business moves that led to that. And then after that led to me getting my own situation. It took me about a good year or so to be able to get released from my contract. Now it appears as though Eminem and Cassius are still on good terms. Even though Cassius got released from his contract, he still feels like he's a part of the Shady family. He claims to be a writer on Shady Records, and Eminem still produces on Cassius's projects. Now Eminem may not be as involved as he once was in Cassius's career, but it seems as though he tries to show love to Cassius whenever he can. Oh man, I love Shady. They're my peoples. That's why M on the album. M got beats on Euthanasia too. Everybody at Shady, they know what time it is. I'm still the capo, man. I'm always part of the Shady family. I'm still a part of the writing and publishing over there. It definitely ain't no beef whatsoever. I just needed a chance to stand out on my own, which I'd been asking for behind closed doors for a few years. Ever since the beginning of 2009, I'd been asking for a way to be able to put out a project on my own, to test the waters and see if I can get my label started. They finally just helped me out with that, and that's what was needed. I'm always a part of Shady Records. I never left. I'm able to drop my own projects. I'm a writer for Shady regardless. Now another reason why Cassius didn't blow up on Shady Records is because his personal drama was starting to interfere with his ability to create music and promote himself. He was in trouble with the law, he wasn't taking care of his mental health, and his team wasn't ready to help him take his career to the next level. Cassius went from not having money to having a lot, and the lifestyle that came with that held him back, and it ultimately prevented him from doing what he needed to do. It appears as though Cassius feels like he let Eminem down. M did do everything in his power to make sure Cassius succeeded. He made a lot of money with Shady, but the politics behind the scenes, as well as his personal drama, held him back. Exactly, I don't want to walk the plank and I can't swim. If I see it's all sharks right there, I'm not trying to jump in, and that's how I felt. At that time, I was switching over management. I had a lot of personal turmoil, with the old life hazards catching up to me, police and drama, and just not living right. Then I was stuck on the Venus like crazy, so there was no way for me to really do anything. I knew I could look inside myself and be honest that I wasn't ready. And at that point, that was my move. I was supposed to step up and carry the torch. That's what M had grown me for. That's what he wanted me for. And I wasn't mentally prepared, nor physically prepared. Nor was my team during that time. Now Cassius hasn't started putting out music. He has dropped several EPs and albums over the years. However, it seems like none of his projects were able to make any charts. His Spotify page gets over 1 million monthly listeners, which is pretty good. That's if we compare him to Stat Quo, who only receives about 100,000 monthly listeners. Most of Cassius' streams come from the single You Don't Know off of the Re-Up album with Eminem. In fact, that song was so impactful to Cassius' career that he still performs it to this day.
Acting Like You Don't Know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still performing that right there.
Okay.
13 years later.
That's the one that I remember. I remember that.
That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to Cassius in your opinion? Let me know down below. Also, if you have any video requests, be sure to let me know as well. Peace.